I think it's problematic when we have leaders making comments like that because we still have a lot of work to do.
Alberta's premier says the pandemic is in the past and we're moving forward, leading Canada out of the crisis. But experts say it's not time to let down our guard just yet. This tweet by the premier putting the pandemic in the past. City News reached out for clarification. In a response returned Wednesday, a statement read, "The Premier, Chief Medical Officer of Health and Health Minister have all said COVID is moving from a pandemic to an endemic. This is the progression of a virus."
And I worry that that kind of language might fuel complacency and create the perception that it's completely finished. And unfortunately, it's not. It's not on a regional level, and it certainly isn't on an international level.
In places like Israel, Australia, the UK, cases still surged after vaccination. Parts of LA reimposing mask mandates. Global vaccine equity is still a major concern. Here in Alberta, we may have great access to vaccines, but
that's definitely not the case around the world. And we are seeing a number of countries where they simply do not have access to the vaccines. The virus is running more or less unchecked. The more cases there are in these countries, the greater the risk of these variants.
Dr. Craig Jenny is hesitant to say we are moving into an endemic. He says we aren't at a place where we can predict the number of cases of COVID year over year, like the flu.
A pandemic is still a new disease that's basically occurring at an infection rate that we've not seen before. And an endemic disease is something that we are more familiar with, something that is present within the human population or a geographical population at about the same rate year after year.
What do you think will need to happen in order for COVID to be called an endemic?
So what we need to see really is this, flattening of these waves. We don't want to see these continual spikes and surges.
And are you happy that Alberta is going to be open for good?
Caulfield says using the pandemic as a political win is tempting, but dangerous when done too soon, when many are still either unable or choosing not to be vaccinated.
I think it's really important for the government, for all of the political leaders, to emphasize the need to continue to be vigilant.
In Calgary, Taylor Broad, City News.